There's a lot of parties happening in Paris, but a lot of them are not good. And I was even having a conversation with a Parisian yesterday and how their friend was like, oh, let's go out tonight. And he was like, no, no, no. You can't just go out in Paris. You need to know where you're going. And I 100% agree. And this video is hopefully going to be able to help you find cool parties in Paris. And it has a lot to do with the fact that there are so many venues in Paris, but the venues have different music depending on the night and the party organizer. So a lot of things are not consistent. You can't just be like, oh, let me go to this one spot, because also there's a lot of spots like Kilomètre 25 where it's known for techno, but then it's not even open all year. So it's really about following different organizers or DJs and seeing where they're playing and then going from there. And so I'm going to give you 3 different ways to find parties that I think would be really helpful, because I've spent so much time trying to find parties when I'm traveling or even just in my time in Paris. And I think it would have been so nice to just have like, boom, this is what you do in case you're new to finding parties. Because also there's always word of mouth. Like you show up to a place, you see someone, they look cool, you just get to talking and you're like, what should I do tonight? Like that is the great way to find a party anywhere that you go. But for Paris specifically, something that's really helpful is using Instagram, and using Instagram to follow different DJ collectives or DJs that are the type of music that you like, and then engaging with their posts ahead of time, checking the vibe. Like sometimes there are a lot of DJs who don't really post on Instagram, and you're going off the vibe of like checking their music, but then when you look at their page, you're like, okay, is this like the vibe that I'm going for at a party? But yeah, engaging with their posts and basically teaching the algorithm to keep showing you things like this so you can get shown more and more parties, because there's a lot of parties happening all the time in Paris. And I think Instagram is the best way to do it. I have a list of collectives and some venues that I will just reference whenever I'm looking for something, but then I'm also just suggested them all of the time because of the way my feed is and who I follow and things like that. And then of course you have apps. So I think the best app to find parties in Paris is Shotgun, and there's some caveats to Shotgun. So for instance, you're not going to find any of the free events at the top of the list because for some reason they put them all the way down at the bottom. And I would say in Paris you could find a good party for 10 euros. 5 to 10 euros, especially if you're looking ahead of time. But then there's also going to be a lot of parties that are 20 euros, 25, 30 euros. So then for those, you just have to make sure those are something that you really want to go to. Checking the DJs, because a lot of parties, they will have local DJs and maybe you're just not aware of who the people are or anything like that. But yeah, Shotgun is a great app. You can sort it by music genre, by the dates that you're going to be there. And then when you show that you're interested in things, it'll start suggesting more things to you. So Shotgun is a great app. And there's also RA, or Resident Advisor, which is really popular for electronic music parties in Europe, even New York, a lot of places in the world. But what I like more about Shotgun is that it's so much easier to get a refund if you change your mind last minute. Because with Resident Advisor, if you buy a ticket and then you choose to go somewhere else or you can't go last minute, they're not going to sell your ticket until the event sells out, and then they start going through the resales. But on Shotgun, if you want to change your mind and resell your ticket and there's still tickets available on the app, they're going to sell your ticket first. And so there's a higher chance of getting your money back, which I really like, because sometimes I just cannot make up my mind or I change my mind last minute. And then also, I mean, this might not apply to you, but if you're in Paris or if you're just using the app a lot, then you get points for every purchase. There's little games you can play. You can change your avatar. It's really cute and fun. And that doesn't say anything necessarily about finding parties, but it just makes the app more fun to use. And then there's also Dice, but Dice for me is more of like concerts. They do have events on Dice, but I wouldn't say that would be the place I would go to. Like I would go to Shotgun first, then Resident Advisor, because sometimes there's events on Resident Advisor that aren't on Shotgun. But you could find those same events through Instagram if you knew where to go, and then you would end up on Resident Advisor anyway. So eventually you may end up on Resident Advisor. But Dice is just like, if you're more into concerts and things like that. As much as I love talking about partying in Paris and all the searching that I do, going to different events and looking for different organizers, I'm really just searching for that feeling the first time I went to Berlin. Honestly, every time I go to Berlin, but that first time I went to Berlin, it was just on a whim because I heard it was a great place for women to party solo. I went by myself. I had a fantastic time. An incredible time. And I've just been searching for that same feeling in Paris and it's not happening. So I'm just going to have to go to Berlin. And I thought it'd be fun to do a group trip to where you can tell me what your interests are. I give you personalized recommendations to what to do during the day. You can have your little solo exploration, but then at night you have a group of people that you can look to in case you just want to not feel so awkward, maybe about going out by yourself at night. And I think it'll be really fun. I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to find all of the parties and just to share what I love about Berlin so much with you. So you can find out all of the information about it at freethebrie.com/party in Berlin. And I forgot to mention the yoga. There's some yoga and meditation included because depending on what you like to take, if you go out, but meditation will be really nice to ground down. The yoga is going to be great for stretching, to be able to last on the dance floor for hours. And yeah, I think it's going to be such a nice balance of writing, relaxing, solo exploring. And if you're interested in different party organizers and venues in Paris, then I have a whole Paris Nightlife series where I review different clubs, different DJ collectives, and yeah, you can just scroll through, see what you find. Raves, warehouses, there's a whole range of parties that I like to go to, and I love talking about them on YouTube. And I hope this has been really helpful. I hope that you don't have to end up at a horrible party in Paris like I have had to in the past. I hope that everything you find is like, oh my God, this was so good. This is worth my time, my money, my energy. This is exactly what I needed. I want everyone to have that every time they go out, every time they go dancing. And hopefully this video helps with that. I'll see you in the next video.